That was easy.
Now first we're going to be starting with, of course, the star ingredient, our peanut butter. If possible, you want to get the type where the only ingredients are peanuts and maybe a little bit of salt. So we'll get that into our bowl. And yes, you can use other nut butters besides peanut butter if you like. I actually love the types of nut butters that blend a whole bunch of different types of nuts and seeds all together, because then you're getting a nice variety of nutrients and omega-3s and 6s. To sweeten, we have some maple syrup. As far as I'm concerned, any recipe that involves maple syrup is off to a great start. And I should say, look for the pure maple syrup, not the imitation pancake syrup. Flip that bottle over, the only ingredient should be maple syrup. It makes a big difference in the flavor and of course the quality. Next we have garbanzo bean flour, AKA chickpea flour. I love this flour and I'm using it more and more as time goes on. Super high protein, super high fiber flour. It's really, really versatile. I use it in a ton of recipes. I'm starting with just about a half a cup, but we may need more later. Next we need some salt. I will say, I start with just a quarter of a teaspoon, but if you know for sure that your peanut butter doesn't have any added salt, or if it's very, very low in salt, you're probably gonna wanna go ahead and add an extra quarter teaspoon. Okay, that's it. You start stirring. All right, just give it a nice stir and you will start to see it all come together really nicely. And then once you have it pretty much all mixed together, you need to make a decision. Take a look at the consistency of your dough and ask yourself, can I make dough balls with this batter the way it is? If the answer is no, then you're gonna wanna add more garbanzo bean flour. I almost always do. So we start with a tablespoon and stir it in. Okay, I think I could actually use another tablespoon. It really depends on how runny your nut butter is. I actually used one nut butter where it was a blend of all those different nuts and seeds, and it required an extra 4 tablespoons of garbanzo bean flour, but you really want to do it one at a time to see how much you need. And what's amazing is that extra garbanzo bean flour doesn't affect the flavor at all. Still very delicious, so sweet. Pretty thick, just like this. If you have the time, you're welcome to also stick this in the fridge for about 5 to 10 minutes to make it even easier to roll into balls, but I'm gonna just go for it the way it is. I like to line my baking sheets with parchment paper just because it makes cleanup super easy and it ensures that those cookies will not stick. But if you have a reliable non-stick sheet, you're good to go. Start rolling them into little dough balls. It'll still be pretty soft. Now, I will let you in on a little secret. These cookies are delicious enough to be dessert, but they are healthy enough to be breakfast. Now, this is key to know for parents out there who have 3-year-olds who are very picky or they change their mind about what they want for breakfast every day. I have one of those kids. So on the days that my little redheaded Jack is feeling very picky, I can always bust out one of these peanut butter cookies and feel good about what he's eating for breakfast that day. Poor Jeff, I have to say, he's always been the one that got to lick the bowl and the spoons when I'm done baking something. But now there are 2 kids that are almost 4 in the house that are very aware that these things exist now, and he's got a little competition. Sorry, Jeff. Okay, so now it wouldn't be a traditional peanut butter cookie if it didn't have those famous crisscross marks, which I'm going to make now. Just take a fork and go 2 different directions straight across the top, just like this. Voila, we have peanut butter cookies. It's official. They just need to go into an oven, 350 degrees for 11 to 12 minutes. I'm so happy. I don't have to wait those 11 or 12 minutes because I made some earlier today. Here they are. Look at that. So pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and eat one now if you don't mind. Now these cookies are fantastic because they're made with 5 ingredients that are minimally processed, high in fiber, but loaded with amazing, delicious flavor to create these beautiful, glorious, no-guilt Elvis cookies. So you start by taking 1 very ripe banana, put it into a mixing bowl, and mash it with a fork. And this recipe is actually easy enough for your kids to help make them after school. It's kind of a nice, healthier, sweet little treat to have in the afternoon or the morning or in the evening or for breakfast. All right, doesn't need to be perfectly smooth. There's still a little bit of banana clump in there. That's perfectly fine. Next ingredient, of course, if they're Elvis inspired, we start with our banana. Next, we need peanut butter. We need 1 rounded tablespoon of creamy peanut butter. I suppose chunky peanut butter would work as well. Next, 1/2 cup of rolled old-fashioned oats. 1/3 cup either chocolate chips or chocolate chunks. Next, 1 tablespoon of pure maple syrup. You don't want to get that stuff labeled pancake syrup. If you see that, flip it over, look at the ingredients. If it has anything in addition to pure maple syrup, then you don't want it. And then 1 last optional ingredient would be a pinch of salt. That technically makes it 6 ingredients, but it's up to you. You can leave it out. All right, oh, just look at this. The chocolate chips, that oatmeal, you see the banana and the peanut butter in there, and maple syrup. You can use that same fork that you used to mash the banana just to give it a nice stir. No baking soda, no baking powder, no flour. That's it. Those are all the ingredients in these cookies. What's also nice about these is that it only makes 6. So you won't have a bunch of cookies laying around tempting you every single day. These 6 cookies are gonna vanish pretty quickly. Grab our baking sheet, and we just create 6 little mounds. I always line my baking sheets with parchment paper. It makes cleanup super easy. Let's perfect the shape of these a little bit, push them together. You want to make sure they're all about the same size. They're ready to go in the oven. I'm going to bake them for about 10 minutes in a preheated oven, 350 degrees. And now all we have to do is wait 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes is up. Let's grab those cookies. Oh boy, so glorious looking. I love all of that chocolate and all the texture from the oatmeal. These are gonna be so good. All right, transfer these cookies over to our cooling rack. They smell so good. You can smell that peanut butter, you can smell the chocolate. Now the only thing left to do is try them. Look at that, it holds together so beautifully. No flour, no baking soda, no egg. So pretty. Ooh, steamy hot, chocolatey deliciousness. Dive right in. I know it's still really warm, but I can't help it. All right, the very first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 450 degrees. After your oven is preheated, we start with 1/2 of an apple. Take out the center core, just give it a nice rough chop, just some nice 1-inch pieces or so. Next, we're going to take an oven-safe dish, about 4 inches in diameter. Take 1/2 of an apple chopped into our oven-safe dish. You also want it to be microwave safe as well, so these ceramic dishes are perfect for that. Take our cinnamon, we're just gonna give it a light sprinkle. Don't even need to measure it. Next, we're gonna take some sweetener. I'm doing about 1 teaspoon of coconut sugar here. I like coconut sugar because it's very minimally processed and it does have some minerals to offer. Plus, it has a nice flavor. It actually tastes a lot like brown sugar. Next, we're gonna do some lemon juice. You can do fresh or bottled. 1/2 of a tablespoon. And that gets evenly drizzled across the top. And that's it for our filling. Now, part of the reason why this is so fast and convenient to make is because of the next step, which is microwaving for 1 minute. If you choose not to use a microwave, no big deal. We'll get to that part next. All right, take our dish back here. Now we're gonna make our topping. Our topping is very, very simple. We're just gonna take some rolled old-fashioned oats, 2 tablespoons, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, so we have 1 tablespoon of butter substitute. Not an everyday ingredient for sure, but I definitely love it in this recipe. And we're doing a little bit more coconut sugar. Do somewhere between 1/2 to 1 full teaspoon. Just depends on what kind of day you had, right? I'm gonna do a little bit more. Now it's time to get our fingers dirty. Just get right in there. Mix it all together with our fingertips. You can use a spoon if you want. I like feeling the textures and making sure that all of the ingredients are evenly mixed up. One last ingredient is our nuts. I use walnuts in this recipe, but you can definitely use pecans or maybe some chopped slivered almonds as well. Mix it all up with my fingertips here. And we just put this all across the top. Next, we're gonna bake our little single serving apple crisp in our preheated oven. If you did that microwave portion where you cook the apples for 1 minute in the microwave, all you need to do is bake this for about 6 to 10 minutes, just depending on how brown you want the top to be. But if you didn't microwave those apples, you might want to do closer to 15, maybe 20 minutes. But of course, I didn't want to make you wait, so I have one all ready to go so I could show you. Now you can eat it just like this if you like, but I like little toppings. It's just the way I am. What's nice about this coconut whipped cream is that you can keep it in your freezer and then it really resembles ice cream for a fraction of the calories. If you're serving this for guests, you can also sprinkle it with a little bit of cinnamon on top. It kind of foreshadows what people are about to taste. But since it's just me, I'm just gonna go for it. Nice crumbly topping. Next time you go to the grocery store, grab a bunch of bananas, peel them, and then put them in a Ziploc to sit overnight in the freezer. What happens is, when the bananas freeze, they become an amazing base for this banana ice cream. So take one frozen banana, put it in your blender, 1 to 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder, 1 heaping tablespoon of peanut butter. And when you get peanut butter, you want a peanut butter that just has peanuts and maybe some salt in the ingredients, and that's it. About 2 tablespoons of almond milk. And if you want it a little bit sweeter, do a date. Now, if you aren't familiar with dates, it is time. Dates are like brown sugar in fruit form. They're delicious and they have antioxidants and vitamins to offer and fiber, all in a little piece of fruit that's deliciously sweet. Okay, you just blend it up, and then what you get is this beautiful chocolate banana ice cream. I like to garnish mine with some mini chocolate chips, just like that. And you have the most creamy, delicious, little healthy dessert you've ever seen. Now, bananas are great because they are loaded with prebiotic fiber, which means that they feed the good bacteria in your gut. And then you have the cocoa powder with the antioxidants, that peanut butter with a little bit of fiber and protein, and you are set. A delicious treat that you can feel good about. I'm Audrey Dunham, and this is your tip from the kitchen.